Happy Tuesday, everyone, and thanks for tuning in. Grab your friends and let's get started. Last week, I shared that March is Women's History Month and that we will be highlighting the 5 honorees of the Audrey H. Lawson Impact Award. This week, we're adding 2 more, Ms. Barbara Curtis and Mrs. Nakia Price. Barbara Curtis is passionately committed to equipping and inspiring individuals to experience purpose and victory in every area of their lives. This commitment, along with the belief that people are blessed to be a blessing, are the motivations behind her missions to serve. Barbara's diverse gifts and roles include minister, author, motivational speaker, mentor, and community leader. Her professional and ministerial experiences include over 30 years in education, leadership development, team building, and public relations with corporations and organizations, including the Houston Independent School District, Windsor Village United Methodist Church, and J.P. Morgan Chase. She currently serves in full-time ministry at the Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas. Deeply disturbed by the evidence of a steady decline in the confidence, self-respect, values, and positive aspirations of young girls, Barbara founded a high school mentoring program, Rare Pearls Incorporated, in 2014, personifying the charge of the late Dr. Maya Angelou. When you learn, teach. When you get, give. Through Rare Pearls Incorporated, Barbara is committed to working with other dedicated women to equip and empower underserved girls to navigate and overcome the hardships, negative media images, and other risk factors impacting their futures while offering life skills, college readiness training, an annual girls conference, college scholarships, and a first-year college mentoring program. To date, through its 2-year mentoring program, the organization has graduated 2 classes, awarded over $60,000 in college scholarships, and provided laptop computers, luggage, and dorm room necessities to each of the program graduates. Barbara is the recipient of the inaugural Mayor's History Makers Award presented by Mayor Sylvester Turner and Comcast, but nothing drives her more than her desire to live out God's purpose and plan for her life. Nakia Price, co-founder and owner of the ever-popular Turkey Leg Hut, first introduced Texans to their mouth-watering turkey legs in a parking lot at the Houston Rodeo in 2016. In 3 short years and with no culinary background, Nakia and her husband Lynn turned their hobby and love of cooking into one of the most sought-after restaurants in Houston, making headlines across the country. Nakia is a Chicago native who attended the University of Houston on a basketball scholarship and obtained her Bachelor of Science in Business with a minor in marketing. Seeing patrons walk out of the rodeo hungry, the Price family began to cook in their family parking lot daily. What they thought would be a fun barbecue for the city turned into something much bigger than they could have ever imagined. Nakia has now taken her wildly popular turkey legs to new heights, expanding their menu to include over 7 varieties of fall-off-the-bone turkey legs and a full complement of homemade delicacies at their first Turkey Leg Hut restaurant on Alameda Road in Houston's historic 3rd Ward. Nakia and her husband have 3 children and reside in the heart of Houston, Texas. They plan to continue to expand in other restaurant concepts and ventures in the near future. Many of us were saddened by the passing of actress Betty White in December of last year, right before her 100th birthday. Networks began showing marathons of her hit show, The Golden Girls, and I could not get their famous theme song out of my head. Thank You for Being a Friend birthed the concept for tonight's show. We're going to be speaking with a few friend groups that were birthed right here at Wheeler Avenue. We all grew up with our circle of church friends who have added to the fellowship experience through the years. First up is the Breakfast Club, and not the restaurant. This group of friends has been going out to eat after church for about 10 years now, and they are doing their part to make a difference in the city of Houston and beyond. Thanks for letting me crash you all's date today. How are you?
Doing fine.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Well, what are the relationships here before we get started? How did this group of friends form?
Well, I've been knowing Peggy before the group started. Well, knew all of them really, but we used to work together at the city, and when they start talking about food and let's go to someplace after church, I was happy to join them.
Wonderful.
I think all of us, as Joyce said, had a relationship before we started to go to breakfast, but one thing we had in common, we were all early service people. Whether it was 7 a.m., 7:15, whatever the time, we always went to the earliest service. And of course, we were very hungry after the service. And so we just kind of started going to breakfast together. And we took it a little further and a little further. And so we've been doing this now for several years.
It's more than 7.
Well,
I was just about to ask how many years have you all been doing
I
it?
tried to calculate. It's been over 10.
Wow.
Lionel and I used to go to breakfast after church, and then we started having kids. But Peggy and I connected. We connected before Obama ran for president. Mm-hmm. But when he ran for president, we started going a lot of different places together, campaigning for Obama, and then it just became, just organic. This person kind of joined. We'd go to different places and.
And when Arva's children were in college, and she was a lonely, empty nester, and Lionel would have things to do at church, on the golf course, and so she would call, and we just go to
And we have at least the 2 children who are missing today, and Aljanita Scott Davis, who's also a regular with us, but she couldn't make it today either. And Beretta Ward.
And then also, one thing that happened when Dwight Boykins was District D City Council member, he would join us on Sundays because he felt, for some reason, that we had the pulse of the community. So he liked to talk to us to find out, what was going on and any things that we were concerned about that were going on in District D. So we've had people that were regulars, and then some that would fall out and come back, and just for various reasons, not because we fell out.
And let me just say too, we talk about everything.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
Everybody.
And some of us were sent out for Bible study.
Okay.
No Bible study, because we also went to lunch after Bible study. And then we went at breakfast on Sundays and lunch on Wednesdays. So, and I think I knew Peggy before I knew anybody. But as Joyce said, everybody knows somebody.
So you all have named yourself. Would you share your name with us?
The Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club. Who came up with that name?
I think Jonathan.
Jonathan?
Maybe, yeah.
I think Jonathan.
Nice. So, Breakfast Club, I hear you all have a written agenda each week.
Yes,
can
Joyce,
you let
right
us
there,
in on some of your agenda items, or is it top secret?
No. We talk politics. We talk
Events.
We talk Wheeler. We talk
Each other.
yes.
What's
And-
some of this Wheeler talk?
Well, we just talk about things that's happening at the church, but I'll tell you this one that got us really started when Pastor Cosby started preaching about blessing someone who cannot bless you back.
Yes.
When that came about, then what we started doing is paying dues. I asked, other than just come and feeding our face, let's help somebody else who can't bless us back. And so we came up with dues where we will pay a certain amount every month, and we give it to people who cannot bless us back. The first one started in, and I have it down somewhere here. We started doing this in April of 2021, where we had this church member who had a daughter in the hospital due to COVID. And we know it was expensive for her to park and pay parking when she had to go see her. So we put our monies together and sent it to her so she would have a blessing from us. And then we also sent goodies to Haiti. We collected extra money. We sent like $700 worth of stuff. We partnered with the city of Houston when they were sending the trucks or whatever over to Haiti, and we dropped off goods and stuff for that. We also sent money to Mission and Mercy for the people in Louisiana for what was that storm? Ida. For Ida. We do things. As late as yesterday, I put a money order in the mail to Florence, Mississippi. Eula has some relatives who were in a house fire. Thank God they're safe, but they lost everything that they had. And so we sent them a money order yesterday to help them along the way. So we just don't gossip and eat and whatever. We try to help others, like I
with
say.
a purpose.
Yes.
But we've
Yes.
also done something with the kids at Yates.
Yates,
We
right.
That's what I want to talk
Coats and
about.
those things. Arthur can tell us more about
Yeah.
that.
The principal of Yates will call, as Yates alumni knows, all three of us. And there was a child that came to school that day. And it was one of the coldest days, and he had on slides and a blanket because he had no coat. So she relayed that, and we bought 10 coats. I don't know how much underwear, socks,
Shoes.
God, at least 20 pairs of shoes that we purchased, and some we brand new from Dave,
Yeah.
and we took it over there. And after that, we started thinking about formalizing it. We also, this last Christmas, adopted 2 families at Yates, and we gave them money. And it was so gratifying. The little boy, when we took it to him in the community homes, gave him the turkey and some other things. Then gave him the cash. He said, "Who's this for? This is for us? Y'all just being nice? This is for us?" His mom had been sick. In fact, she was too sick to even come to the door. So, that sermon really resonated with everybody. It really did.
So who normally spearheads these efforts? Is it something like if you hear of a need and you bring it to
You
the
just
group?
bring it to the group.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, Miss Joyce, you bring the agenda. Deacon Howard, you're quiet over there, but you usually pray and say the blessing. Is that all you do at the
Almost. I might get a comment in every now and then,
But when
but
he
as you can
does,
see, these ladies, they can talk and they can talk.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, they're the gift of gab here.
So you're the bodyguard. We'll call you that.
Yeah.
well, but he does make his comments, and when he does, they're
We
very
listen.
pointed.
They're profound.
Sometimes very profound, and sometimes when we need reprimanding, he will do that in his subtle way.
Yes.
Very
Well,
legit.
I hear your son Jonathan is the president. How did that happen?
A moment of insanity. That's all I can say.
But they all presidents, because Jonathan, he is so nice and understanding, and so they kind of sometimes, like Peggy, she'll run over him. She'll just speak out of term and whatever, and so.
She just threw you under the bus.
Oh no.
Again.
Nice.
But we're
Well, he sent you all a mission statement before our conversation began. I think it kind of goes along with what you talked about with your efforts in the community. Does anyone have that mission statement pulled up?
You were the.
You all are not just a group of friends who go out to eat. You all
We like
actually
eating.
are.
I don't. That,
We
Oh,
just
eating
gotta
is
eat.
wonderful. But you all are really going out into the community and making a difference, and I think that's important as a group of friends.
but after this, I do want to share an unexpected ministry that we.
Okay.
Okay. This is from Jonathan. Since its inception, the Breakfast Club has been a safe space to share the love of Jesus with one another and our guests. It is a microcosm of the body of Christ in which we seek to be in the hands and feet of our Lord and Savior in all facets of life. We thank God for bringing us together, and we welcome those who will join us in the future. We'll only be a visitor once.
So how can we apply to join in the future?
You just come on. We've had people show up.
and then if we
Kim
don't
on,
want to
district
keep
attorney
you,
showed up.
we uninvite you. We got our ways.
Change the location.
we haven't changed. Well,
it.
we've not uninvited anybody. It's just that if you can't stand the heat.
Oh, get out.
We
the
we meet physically at the Good Company. on Kirby every Sunday morning. But the one thing I do want to mention also, when we went into COVID and there were no church, we would Zoom every Sunday
Yes, we
morning.
did.
After church, everybody would watch the
10
same
o'clock,
service.
after we look at
and then
service.
after we do our church service, then we have our Zoom meeting. And we did that for probably a year and a half, as
Until
long
we
as
started
church
going back to church.
was closed.
Right.
We
As
did
long
that.
as
So
you-
we
every
still
2 hours.
we did
Every-
communion together.
Yes, we did.
On first Sundays, whatever was going on in church, we were still churching, and we did that. But at the Good Company, we have people that will come. Some of my family members will join us. We have other friends that have joined us, and so we let people come.
had
And if you want to come
politicians.
back, you
Yeah.
come back. We don't have a problem with it. But the core group is what you see here, excluding Beretta and Aljanita, and the girl Janelle and Jonathan. That's our core group.
When we first started going to Good Company is a restaurant where, you place your order, pay at the cash register, and then they call your name and you come pick it up. Well, and that's just how they operated from day one. Well, we came there every Sunday, and there was one of the bus boys that started paying attention to us, and we called him Coffee, because he would always say, "Coffee, more coffee," and he was so kind. And then he started getting our food for us, so we started tipping him, and we tipped very well as a group.
Very well. I
Very,
want to
very
be a
well.
bus boy on
In fact, I may
Sunday.
start being a bus boy so I can afford retirement. But he started doing that. And one Sunday when we were there, then he started setting up our table. When they would see us drive up, he would set up the table. So you had to do that yourself at Good Company. So he started doing everything for us. And we noticed the other bus boys kept trying to get close by and ask me, said, "No, we like Elian." And one Sunday, I cannot think of his name, but he owned the Rockets before Tillman Fertitta bought it.
Les Alexander.
Les Alexander. So he came in and people fawning all over him. But nobody, he had to give his order and they get in line like everybody else. And when they saw them setting ours up, we saw him look and he touched his assistant like, what's up with that? Who are those people over there? Long story short, now the bus boys, because they kept getting tips, now the restaurant has changed their policy and they bring everybody's food. They don't set up everybody's table still. We still are the only ones for that. But they now they make money. And they were
other
so
people
grateful
tip
to
now.
us.
Not yet.
We give them Christmas gifts.
Yes, yeah,
And they gave
And
us
they could not
pies.
believe it.
yeah.
And they gave
Y'all
us
make a
gift in
difference
return.
everywhere. That's cool.
So, and the
They
thing is,
gave us a
we
gift.
have the same two waiters every
Yes, we do.
Sunday.
And we go to the same
Same
cashier
Yes,
every
we do.
Sunday.
And he's a student and we tip the cashier too.
I have a special passion for students, so I make them
Yes.
tip them.
Oh, Lord, yes. If they say that they're a student, Peggy does,
That's the teacher in us.
that's
You're
the teacher.
blessed to be a blessing
Yeah.
for sure. So one by one, I would love for you all to go around and share what this tradition has done for both your friendship and your families.
I'll start.
For my friendship, one by one, and you start from your left going to your right. So.
We just love them.
and that's the way we really.
No, this
nothing
is being
phony
nice.
here. But for friendship, it enhanced it with me. It brought us closer together. We visit each other in terms of holidays or whatever, and we just don't see each other on Sundays. We go to dinner we celebrate birthdays, and so it has just had friendship to give me a different meaning, a greater meaning. And the giving part, all of them are so giving, when it's time to collect that money, you don't have to wonder who is going to pay, who isn't going to pay. Everybody is like, we're on the same page. We know what our purpose is, and we try to fulfill that purpose. And I love them all. Sometimes I could slap the love out of them, but I love them.
Well, for me, may I, Joyce?
Sure.
Thank you. For me, the group has become my extended family, and I have no blood relatives in the city of Houston. And as much as we do, or we talk about what we do for other people, we haven't really talked a lot about what we do for each other. And it's much further than the monetary part. But anytime anybody's had an issue to deal with, for example, she talked about Eula and her family. I had family situations that I had to leave Houston and go to Atlanta. And the group just supported me the whole time. I got phone calls. They prayed for my relative that was ill. And that's what's so important to me, is that the love and support that I get from the group. So I think that, as I said, is a friendship, but it's really an extended family for me.
To undergird much of what Joyce and Peggy have said, that it is an extended family, because I, like Peggy, don't have relatives here in the city, so they are my family, and they have embraced me and friends that I knew before I met them, before we started getting together. And I have one friend, Rita, she said, I want to go to breakfast with you all, so sometimes maybe she'll show up. But Janelle and Jonathan are like our children too. They call us Miss Aunt Peggy and Aunt Eula and Aunt Joyce. So we do what aunts do and embrace
Spoil
them. Yeah, we do spoil them and shield them from the wrath of the parents.
Yes. Most important.
But they are our family. And the thing is, one of the things that we always talk about is the sermon of the day. We always talk about what we got out of that sermon, and Pastor must know that we always get something out of it and try to share it with each other.
I've gotten a lot. I may have even gotten more than anyone else out of the group. These are some very aggressive women. And when I say aggressive, their love is aggressive. You have to repel them to make them stop being so aggressive in how they show love. Anybody that shows up, they just embrace, period. Any event of life that we have, I know I'm gonna see them. I know once, 6 years ago when my sister passed away, and I came to church, not just a total mess, and Peggy was just there, she disappeared. And Reverend Cosby even talked about it in the sermon, you know. So that's just the kind of love that this group has, and it just makes you want to do better. It shames you when you don't, and it's just something you can rely on, look forward to, and they are very hilarious. Everybody has a crazy sense of humor. They are really on their best behavior I have ever seen.
Even Miss Joyce?
Both of them today, yeah, the two of them. They're real good behavior today.
She's talking, but I have to say this, and you could almost get it when she's talking. She's the crier of the group.
Wait.
Okay.
She's about to start now.
No, I'm not. I'm tired.
That's the curtain.
But no.
Go ahead.
But,
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
Go ahead and line it.
anyway, I'll let my go. I want to hear what he got.
Well, it's kind of surprising that we've got all these ladies here and they still let me be a part of the group. It's been a joy for me. You know, I come from a athletic background, and most of the time when you're in that kind of situation, there are confrontations, but you always know that your teammates got your back. So I feel confident that anything I need, anything I need to share, that I can do with them, and not worry about, you know, stuff getting out, or I just have complete confidence in them. So it's been great just fellowshipping with them, and they allow me to speak every now and then. So it's been good for me.
And he makes good brisket.
The vegetarian makes good brisket.
And that's
Absolutely.
It's extra good.
Nice. Well, I hope everyone can learn something from the friendship that you shared today, and I wish this type of friendship on everybody who's watching. So thank you so much for coming, not really on the avenue, but kind of, and sharing your experiences with us.
And we thank you for inviting us, for having us, because on a serious note, I think things such as this, an organization, if for lack of a better term, a club, people should know that love is what it's all about. Serving Jesus, loving each other, obeying, doing the best that we can. And I cannot leave out the closing without saying what Pastor says. And that's what get us all the time, that we are here to bless someone who cannot bless us back. And we do it from the heart. And we love and thank our pastor for that vision, because that's what he taught. That's what he teaches. And we hopefully we are following what he's teaching us.
Well, that's a great
I want you to take it up now.
Hug it out.
Wow, that's scary.
Well, that's a great note to end on. Thank you all once again.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Been great.
Now it's time to eat.
That was fun, but now we're about to hang out with my girlfriends. We have been together for over 20 years, and I cannot wait for you all to meet them. Okay, y'all, so riding around together has been something that we've literally been doing since we were children, even, with our parents before we could drive, and then once we were able to drive, we were out in these streets.
We were. I always hear, maybe it's from our parents, at all of us at church, or all of us participating in the same activities at church.
Too, so what activities were we participating?
I mean,
Well,
you're in
Girl
children's
Scouts.
church and Girl Scouts.
Not at 2.
At
And
3.
Courtney, we have that video of us singing in the cherub choir
Back.
from
Yeah, when we were like 3 or
very
4 years
little.
old. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
So that was
Adrian
the
and I had a solo every month. We rocked the church.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we rocked the church out.
No, we did. We had our little cherub choir robes on. It was cute.
I wish we could remember the song, and that could have been a little throwback.
I don't. I think Courtney, your mom sent that video towards the beginning of the pandemic, and I have no recollection of that whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it's got me thinking though, what are some of your favorite memories of our friendship over these 20 years?
Well, you mentioned Girl Scouts actually. So one of my favorite things was because I never went to school with you guys, so I loved being able during the week to go to church for choir rehearsal or for Girl Scouts, all the way up through high school, and be able to see you guys during the week and spend some time at church, and then we would hang out after, go to Frenchie's and all of that. I love that.
That's so funny. You two went to Penn Oak together, and then the two of us went to Gates together. So all three of us have never gone to the
same school.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite memories was when our parents used to take us to Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A, and I'm sure we all do. But we used to go to Chick-fil-A maybe every weekend, and we all used to play and then come and eat and just have a good time together.
Yeah. I would say my most recent, not most recent, but one of my more recent memories during the pandemic would be going to LA Crawfish and spending literally 8 entire hours. 8 hours at one table at LA Crawfish. And I think around hour 4, we went and got another order of food.
Yes, that is so true.
Yes, and we just sat and talked literally all night, all day.
And I feel like if you're able to do that with your friends, that just shows how great of a relationship you have.
Because I didn't even know, I didn't even realize how long it was.
The time
I
had
didn't
passed so
either.
fast. We looked up and it was dark.
Yes.
I remember I posted a story when we first got there, and I said, y'all, This is 8 hours ago. Like, we were for 8 hours.
Yes.
We were having so much fun. I just feel like we, like Janelle said, we just have such a special friendship, and I feel like because we're each other's oldest friends,
Yes.
our dynamic and everything, like we just mesh so well. I don't think that anyone knows us better besides our family than each other. And it's like more of like sisters than it is like friends.
Friends.
You know what
yeah,
I
I
mean?
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I would like to say also, I know I said most recent, but my other favorite memory would be Janelle, your 25th birthday, when Jonathan, your brother, rented us a limousine and we rode around
Oh yeah.
Third Ward, and then we went to go
To go eat.
we went to go eat. But it's not just the limo that was my favorite part. It was of course we're in a limo, like a party bus type of situation, but when we got to the restaurant, you had just like started thinking of the goodness of Jesus, and we had a full-blown worship session in the middle of the parking lot. We listened to Hank Mills, God is Still God.
Oh, yes.
And it was just like, I think we all kind of shifted from like party mode to, oh, thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
But that's the best part of our
That's
friendship.
what I
is
was
that
just about to
It's
say.
like, I don't even consider it a switch, right?
Right, because it's
Like,
just in us.
It's just in us. It's just in us. And like, I think it's so, we have such a genuine friendship that, like, you know, people say like, oh, pray for me, right? Like, oh, pray for me, whatever. But like, we truly mean that.
But
Like,
we
when
truly mean it, and
yeah.
we actually pray for
Yeah.
each other
And
all
with
the time.
each other.
Yes.
It's just, and we have like deep conversations about like our beliefs and our faith and,
Yes.
you know, when we're struggling, everything, and it's like all just so genuine.
Yes.
Yeah, we can. My mom always talks about how we're like, you know, of course we're the church girls, but we literally can be good in any setting. You know,
Yeah.
we can go to the galas, we can go to the church, we could go to, you know, a party, you know, in just any setting we can be in, and also be ourselves. Like, we don't always just switch into like whatever mode of what's around us. Like, we're ourselves wherever we are. If we church girls, we're gonna be church girls at Phil and Derek's.
Yes, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's okay. We have a good balance.
And I remember, this is your dad used to tell us this when we used to go to different events. Every time he dropped us off, remember who you are and whose you are.
you remember
And
that?
he used to say
Oh my
that
God.
every single time he dropped us off.
Yes.
And I always think about that because it's like it's true. And now it just comes off naturally. Like, I already know.
We're not gonna be out here embarrassing ourselves or our
Exactly,
parents or
yes.
our God or nothing. you know?
Exactly.
And we hold each other accountable.
We do. We literally do.
So, how do you? First of all, we are all three very different, which is crazy because we have such a close friendship. But what are some of our differences, and how does that make our relationship work so well?
I thought you should start that one off, Adrian.
No.
Go for it.
You know, I don't know. I really don't. I know what I feel our differences are. Like, I am pretty chill, for the most part.
I'm the opposite.
Courtney is very not chill, and Janelle is the grandma.
Yeah.
No, I'm just.
And I think, okay, so I think that I'm not chill, but I'm also like the one to get like, if somebody is doing something disrespectful to either one of you,
Yes.
I'm gonna be the first one to say something and like take it as like my own, like, like
Definitely.
She's gonna be the first one to get.
yeah, whatever you
And
wanna
you
call
know, you
it.
get people together too, but it's in
Different way.
I say grandma jokingly, but
I mean, it's in an
like
older manner.
it's like a familial type of thing. Like, you know, it's I can't really explain it very well, but you have that like family connection with people that you're around, like you're like a cousin or an auntie, or you know, it's just like
The auntie. There you go. There you go.
But no, I say that in
a
like
good way.
in the best way possible. For sure. So do you think that we changed it all through the years, or we pretty much remain the same?
I think we've grown, all of us. And I guess one thing that has allowed us to grow was during COVID. Even though that's the most recent, we just were able to I don't know. We expressed our feelings more. We talked more.
Adrian.
Like we literally just let it all out during COVID because then at first none of us are able to see each other. Yeah. So we're like, we miss our friends, we miss going out, we miss doing such and such. Yeah. And then that turned from 1 month, 2 months to a whole year, and we're just sitting here like, wow, we're best friends. We haven't seen each other. We haven't done such and such. So I think that was one moment that allowed us to grow as friends, I guess.
I think that whenever I look at old pictures and like videos of us, I think that like foundationally and like characteristically we haven't changed. Kind of like what we were just talking about earlier. Like we still kind of like always had like the same kind of like personality, but I think that we've grown together in a lot of just like maturing ways.
Yeah, maturing ways. That's what it is. Yeah.
I think what keeps us, close is really just understanding and knowing each other's differences and respecting that, and not trying to,
change each other,
change anybody, right?
Yeah.
The day of your wedding, your mom said that.
Yeah, she did.
Really?
Yeah, she did actually.
Where was I?
You were getting ready or another room.
She was just like, I really love you guys, and I feel like y'all don't try to change each other. What else did she say, Courtney?
She was saying that we all understand each other.
That's what she said. That's also what she said. Yeah.
We accept everything
about each other. That's what it was.
Whether we agree with it or not, we accept it. Yeah.
And it's like a no judgment zone.
Yeah.
I think that's important for any relationship, whether it's like, friendship, parent, child, or romantic relationship. You have to really understand the person that you're dealing with and take the time to understand that person.
There you go.
And then respect that even though they're not like you, their feelings and their experiences, they're valid and it's okay.
Yeah.
And you don't have to shame anybody just because they don't think the same way.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I know I appreciate that a lot with the two of you. So.
I appreciate y'all's honesty.
Talk about that.
I'm just like, if I make a mistake or if I do something that may not be in the right frame of mind or whatever the case.
You make mistakes?
Not perfect, right? You tried it.
We all do.
But I just feel like y'all will be like, or if I ask y'all, like, y'all, what do y'all think about this? Y'all think it's right, or do y'all think this looks good, or do y'all think this outfit goes together? Like anything, and y'all will be like, sis, but that don't do that, or maybe that's not a good idea, or so.
I love that this is a low maintenance friendship, which I am that type of person, and no shade to those who, need somebody to talk to every day. But, I think that's another part of understanding each other. Like, you all know that I'm just not that girl. I don't do the FaceTime, I'm not
No, you don't.
I take a while to respond to text messages and whatnot, but I love you the same.
Yes. Yes.
The love is all there, but I'm just, I'm not that person. I have in recent moments tried to do better with that because Janelle, I will say,
I was gonna say,
really good
you hold us down. Like,
it makes me feel bad sometimes. I'm like, dang, Janelle just asked me how I'm doing, and I haven't asked her how she's doing.
I feel the same way, Adrian. Like, I'll be like, oh, girl, I'm great, but how about you? Like, it's like I'll think about y'all. Yeah. But like, I'm like, Adrian's really bad at it, but like, I'm also not the best at it. Like, I don't really like texting and stuff or like that. Like, so I did better the other day. I was thinking about you, and instead of just like thinking about you moving on with my day, I texted you, which is good for you and I, because you and I aren't like that.
You did. And honestly, it was a moment where I actually really needed to talk to a friend.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that because it was like literally right on time. And I think that's why sometimes it is important, like regardless of if you feel like it or whatever, when you're thinking about somebody, they might be on your mind for a reason. Sometimes it really is important to just go ahead and reach out.
And reach out.
And it doesn't have to be long, just a quick text message like, hey girl, how you doing? Thinking of you, whatever. And
and we need to work on that. We're planning a girls trip.
We are planning a girls trip. We are.
Girls trip. The flossy posse.
The flossy posse. And this is why I said grandma.
No, because why would anyone say that?
Because y'all think about the movie The Girls Trip.
I know what you got.
See? Courtney.
Okay. All right, well, we are almost to our destination, ladies. But one thing I do want to shout out is our parents, because That's one thing that we talked about a little bit during this ride, but I love that we have parents that have truly raised us with like similar core values.
Yes.
And I think that is another reason why we are the way we are, despite our differences. Like our parents really raised us. We like the same things are important to us, like family, faith, friendship, all of those things. And I really want to shout out to all 6 of them because they are amazing.
Thank you, parents and bonus parents.
And they are friends as well. And they love each other, and we love them, and they love us, and we're all one big happy family. Yes. I love it. I love that we have that relationship. So thank y'all so much for riding with me today.
Anytime, girl. Anytime.
Wait, what exit song do you guys want to hear?
Oh,
Let's see what we got.
Surprises.
Surprise.
I'm not good at surprises. Y'all know this. So give me what's on your heart. We like to party.
That's a
Oh
good
yeah,
one.
yeah. Do that.
Now I have
That's
to
a
remember
good one.
what's the.
And my friends are bad too.
That's so corny. Yes. Gotta do a little auntie dance. Not the church clap. Now that we've heard from the ladies, let's end the evening with hearing from some of the men in our church who have developed a brotherhood through the music ministry here at Wheeler Avenue. All right, we've already spoken with 2 friend groups here at Wheeler Avenue, and now I am joined by the crew, who are members of POD. And if you all would please introduce yourselves.
My name's Cornell Guyon. I'm Ron Johnson.
I'm Mervin Wright, Jr.
My name is Jamal Roach.
Nice. Well, thank you for joining us on the Avenue. How are you?
Real good.
Well,
Thank you.
Good. Well, I'm glad you all are here. As you've heard, I've already spoken with 2 groups today, and they were all ladies, so it's good to now speak to some men. And I understand that each of you, your relationship was formed here in POD. So how long have each of you been members of both Wheeler Avenue and the Psalms of David Choir?
I'll start. For me, I joined Wheeler in 2017 and POD at the end of 2017.
I've been a member of Wheeler for 8 years now, and I started out as a tenor in POD, and the relationship just grew from there.
I joined Wheeler in June of 2017 and then joined the choir shortly thereafter in August of that same year.
I've been a member about 9 years, and I've been in POD for about 8 of those 9 years.
Nice. Well, we've all enjoyed listening to POD minister on Sundays in the past, and I love the fact that you can really see that you all are truly a family, you know, outside of the choir, like on Facebook, or, you know, if someone runs into you at brunch or something. But it goes beyond the walls of the church. But before we get into your friendship, can you please talk to us about the culture of Psalms of David?
I guess I can talk about it. I came in from just a regular choir member point of view, and when I first joined, family atmosphere, as you mentioned, friends right off the bat. I don't think we've ever had a time where we were not a close-knit family. We've always supported each other through loss of family members, births of children, marriages, school success, work success. So I think that's just the culture. It really is just a family where we can really come together, sing together, most importantly, but at the same time, outside of all of that, we really do like each other at the end of the day.
And just to kind of piggyback off what Ron said, it's a family atmosphere. It's nice to have someone in your age range to kind of agree with. I not agree, but I'm saying just kind of like understand what you're going through at some point in time, not to get someone outside of your age range to say, well, I would do this, but it's good to have someone in that may be going through the same thing to kind of give you advice on different things, and whether it's life, financial, just things like that. That's what I enjoy most about it.
And I think one of our biggest things about it is some of us aren't from Houston, some of us are from out of town. So, you know, being in a big city by yourself, you know, you don't necessarily have any family or anything. I know some of my best friends that come from POD, and that's really been a big help when it comes to whatever I'm dealing with, whatever I'm going through. I know I have people I can call up, or at the very least get in our group message and say, hey, pray for me. I got this going on, I got that going on, and you know there's somebody always right there with you.
Well, out of all of the members of the choir, what drew you four together?
The comic relief.
All of you are funny.
I think I think it's the comic relief. We just naturally just gravitated towards each other, and it's a larger conglomerate of us as well. But this guy right here is the
comedian of the group. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So agreed. To his point, there is a larger, I guess, faction. We're just a faction of the group, but the girls that are in the group play a huge part in keeping us together and making sure that we are praying for each other and, you know, eating out and going to each other's houses. Like, we just had a outing at my house a few weeks ago. That was just amazing. So just those type of things, and to Murph's point, like when you don't live here, you're not from Houston, and you find a group of people that not only you can lean on in terms of like friendship, but who believe what you believe in terms of like your faith, like that is amazing. So that has been huge for me.
You mentioned some of the outings that you all have. What are some of your favorite memories from those outings?
One that I can think of is when I had my birthday one year. We went to our friend's Maddie's house, her pool. Man, it was enjoyable for me to just kind of get around people that I know that truly love and support me and believe in me, and that are true friends to help like just celebrate a milestone in my life. And also when they were there with the passing of my mom, it's like I felt the unconditional love, support, whatever I needed. Even if I was just in my own little cocoon and kind of backed away, they were still there supporting me and saying, you know, whatever you need, we're here, and just, you know, reach out to us. And so I genuinely, you know, like that support and genuine love.
I think an ongoing thing too is we went to Top Golf. For outing, and we were all having a really good time, just sitting around and talking. And my friend here went to the restroom, and maybe 10 minutes later, we was like, "Where's Cornell?" And everybody kept asking the question, "Where's Cornell?" It's an ongoing joke because this guy was all the way on I-10 going home. But that's the running joke with him, because we can have great functions, and then we look around like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Cornell is
so you
gone.
just leave.
And he's
and don't show up 5 minutes later.
I hate goodbyes.
So he rather say, I'm going to the restroom, and
you know, you just
can't find him.
You just
leave
ditch everybody.
Anyway, my favorite memory of like our outings, again, another outing that was at my house. Anicia taught me how to make fried cabbage. Blew my mind.
Never heard of that.
It's literally, you probably had cabbage where it's like boiled down. She makes it, you put olive oil, put your seasonings, and you just stir it in the olive oil, because the cabbage already has water in it. So voila, it's done in like 5 minutes. Blew my mind. To this day, I tell everybody I know how to make fried cabbage.
So it sounds like all of your favorite outings are at your house.
Or involve food, yes.
So, you still ditch your friends when you're at the outings at your house?
He goes to sleep.
Oh.
That means I trust them.
Well, that's good. That's really good.
You do.
So now that we've had to hold off on large choirs for a while here, do you all still worship together in any particular service?
Yeah. I'll worship with Ryan on the praise team when I have the chance. I've sat next to Cornell a few times. Shamad, I see you when I see y'all come to 11. I got to be at work at 12, so I come to 8 o'clock. But yeah, I think we do. We at least put a message in our group chat like who's gonna be at 8, who's gonna be at 11:30, and we'll try our best to try to sit together if we can.
Yeah. I think for the most part, like I have my own little section I like to sit in, and they have their own little section that they like to sit. But like for special services, like we usually are kind of sitting together because we need to make sure we got a seat. And I think since it's like reservation only seating now, like you don't have to go through that anymore. So everybody just kind of it's spread out. But definitely when it was like get here or don't have a seat, it's like save me a seat. We always together.
You already kind of touched on the things that you value the most about your friendship, but how do your differences contribute to the bond that you all have?
I think they've helped us kind of grow more as a friend group. Myself, Ryan, and maybe a couple other guys that are like, for instance, big into sports. And I know everybody else isn't, but we've had opportunities to where we had a Super Bowl party one year. And even people who aren't that big into sports will still show up and still come together and have a good time or whatever. Or, you know, there might be a couple that are big into brunch or whatever. And some of us might not be able to, but we'll still go out and still enjoy each other's company. And we all find different ways to where some people might enjoy one thing that we're doing, but everybody ends up having a good time at the end of the day.
And that is friendship, man, because just because you're not necessarily interested in something, but you show up for the friends that are, and you know that they love sports, and even though they're not getting paid millions of dollars, but they in it like they are, I'm just like, what? Hey. But I appreciate it. Yeah, and I appreciate them being there for the stuff that I like and stuff that I enjoy, so yeah.
And I would even say, even on the serious side, we've had some difficult conversations ranging from politics to just personal beliefs, to just thoughts about life, that we have been able to have the tough conversations, at the same time respect each other's points of views, and then in some situations be informed, be enlightened about something, and be able to take that advice and profit by it. So even the correction, sometimes we correct each other. If we know that we're wrong, we're gonna correct each other whether we like it or not. And I do appreciate that in our friendship group as well, that we just don't get a pass just because we are in a group, and especially a church group, but we still have that accountability to each other, whether it's going back to school, whether it's employment, you know, making wise decisions about buying, purchasing things. So I appreciate all of that within our friend group, and I don't think we've ever just really talked about that side, but we literally experience it like a real family.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, and the ugly is what I like to call it.
Yeah. It runs the gamut.
Okay.
No, it runs the gamut is what I say.
Speaking of that enlightenment, what are some of the other things that you've been able to learn from one another?
How to handle relationships. One of the biggest things that I always struggled with initially in our friend group is because I serve as a director of POD. How to manage that relationship to be the director, at the same time I'm still your friend, and how to just speak from a friend point of view and not a director's point of view as a leader of the church. So I've had to grow in that area to foster my friendship as well as leadership at the church as a director, to kind of give that advice and vice versa. Sometimes they just need to hear a friend from me and not a leader of the church, and I've had to grow into that, and it's worked, and it's been really good for me personally to be able to have that line and know when I need to cross it and when I need to kind of just pull back a little bit.
I'm naturally introverted, and so with my friend group, it gives me the option to be more myself, to be more open, to show more of my personality, because I'm quiet. Like I said, I'm an introvert. So that I enjoyed that, being able to bloom and flourish and just open up and be more myself around people that I trust and love.
Well, I hope you all are in good voice, because we cannot have members of a choir come and not sing. So can you just give us one line?
Thank you, because I forgot it already.
1, 2, ready, and thank you for being a friend.
Nice. Thank y'all so much for coming. I really appreciate it, and sharing your beautiful friendship with all of us who are watching.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope that tonight has helped us to reflect on our friendships and appreciate the roles that those people play in our lives. Reach out to your buddies after watching this and just thank them for being a friend. That's all for tonight. Thanks again for tuning in. Join us next week as we head down the street to the Blodgett Urban Gardens. See you next Tuesday on the Avenue.